Hello, dear friends. The sun rises every day, the clouds pass by, the sea rests on its bed, and the mountain remains firm. What's the problem? A Zen master asked. Opinion piece. Helicopter money. A rain of banknotes. Falling from the sky. Instant millionaires. Sudden wealth syndrome. People would stop working. QFS is in development phase. Everything would be gradual. Social relations would change. Ending poverty is the priority. Temporary period of upheaval. Economic system would collapse. Judicious use of artificial intelligence. Let's start. We don't know when the global financial reset or the Judicious program will be implemented, or what the future of the quantum financial system will be. But we do know that no one will suddenly put money into anyone's bank account, according to Matthew, because the priority is ending poverty. His new message sheds more light on the new global economic system in which the value of all national currencies will be based on precious metals. This will eliminate the entrenched corruption in banking and commerce and generate honesty, fairness, and stability in those sectors. Right now, we are in a very difficult spiritual battle between light and darkness, with widespread confusion over the implementation of a new economic, social, and spiritual system that will give rise to the new government of the Golden Age, with true universal democracy. Rest as much as you can to adapt to the new energy and face the challenge of the end of times, because beyond the current turbulence lies paradise, the promised land. Matthew's April 2nd message discusses the challenges of experiencing the end of the dark times and the ongoing spiritual battle between the forces of light and darkness. Gaia shares his perspective on Earth's ascension, highlighting the pain and difficulty of the transition, but also the hope and love that are emerging. The message also addresses the corruption of democracy, as well as the possibility of a world republic in the future. Finally, it addresses the global financial reset, the Judicious program, and the quantum financial system, clarifying that these entities will not suddenly deposit money into anyone's bank account, but will instead generate changes in the national and global economy. Stimulus. The concept of money falling from the sky is related to the idea of helicopter money. This term was popularized by economist Milton Friedman and refers to a monetary policy in which central banks or governments distribute money directly to the public to stimulate the economy, especially in times of recession or economic crisis. The metaphor of a helicopter dropping money is an illustrative way of describing how this money is distributed directly to the population, bypassing traditional financial channels. Therefore, although it's not literally money falling from the sky, the idea of helicopter money evokes that image as a way of conveying the idea of a direct and massive distribution of money to stimulate consumption and the economy. But according to Matthew, money isn't expected to arrive unexpectedly or suddenly. It won't fall from the sky or arrive without effort, because wealth doesn't appear without prior work or action. If everyone had access to a large amount of money, it would cause a collapse of the global financial system, because people would stop working, affecting production and essential services and dramatically increasing the demand for goods and services, causing runaway inflation. Prices would rise so much that the purchasing power of money would decrease. Suddenly, making the entire population millionaires would not solve the structural problems of the global economy or guarantee universal well-being. On the contrary, it could generate economic and social chaos due to a lack of preparation to handle such a sudden change, as happens to many human beings who win the lottery. Furthermore, access to sudden wealth could disrupt family and friendship dynamics, generating conflicts due to jealousy or financial expectations. Wealth could lead to changes in social cycles, distancing people from their previous relationships and generating loneliness. Even if everyone had the same amount of money initially, the differences in financial skills and opportunities would lead to a new concentration of wealth over time. Many people may face anxiety, stress, or an identity crisis due to not knowing how to handle their new financial situation. And poverty. The Global Economic Security and Reform Act, GESRA, will indeed end global poverty, which is the most important thing. This legislation cancels debts to the International Monetary Fund, the World Economic Forum, and dark-side operations that lend money to struggling countries and appropriate their natural resources when the loans cannot be repaid in full. All allocated resources would be returned to the ownership of nations, and the funding, materials and direct monitoring assistance would be provided to communities with poor infrastructure. Personal debts incurred from bank loans, mortgages and credit cards would also be cancelled according to the plans. Computers for the quantum financial system, a decentralized banking system, are still in development. When ready for use, they will be able to process encrypted transactions instantly and securely. Some analysts believe that regulatory commissions will not approve the system because there is no way to control it, while others see it as the future of the financial industry. During decades that Earth is on its journey toward fifth density, the national and global economy will change as society's values shift from money and material acquisitions to self-discovery, the union of extended families, human, animal, and plant relationships, and extraterrestrial friendships. Economic inequality will be replaced by prosperity for all, and monetary change will give way to bartering, sharing resources, and offering skills and talents wherever they can be used. Our Earth family will shine with the purity of spiritual fulfillment and love for self and others. Difficult battle. To say that experiencing the end of darkness on Earth is a challenge is an understatement. Knowing that forces of light resoundingly defeat those of darkness give us confidence and assurance that our light is helping to co-create a wonderful world of peace, love and harmony, according to Matthew through his mother Susan Ward. But this final phase of the spiritual battle is not easy. The high-frequency influx was the universe's gift to all souls on the planet, but most people are unaware of it and have difficulty adapting the stronger energies. Earth's ascension path is being assaulted by disparate dark beings who are flooding the planet with negativity, lies, death and devastation. The mainstream media is spreading half-truths, and the population is torn between what to believe. Citizens are protesting government policy, and crucial actions behind the scenes have yet to be revealed. Partisanship. Despite the energy invested in campaigns by political candidates, their supporters and wealthy contributors, partisan politics will soon begin to fade into history. Political parties have changed over time, but they remain strong, and democracy has outlasted all other systems of government except royal dynasties. Democracy, which would be an excellent form of government when led by honorable, conscientious and visionary individuals, has been corrupted. Just after the founding fathers established the newly united colonies as a sovereign republic, British royalty surreptitiously annulled the republic and formed the American corporation, which they owned. This situation has persisted for 2.5 centuries. The inhabitants are not citizens, but employees of the corporation. Instead of their votes deciding the election results, dark side parties elect candidates and hold elections so that the winners are whomever they wish in office. Government actions which affect the entire world are ordered by members of ruling factions. That control is being quietly but steadily dismantled by the forces of light. Centuries before all this happened, European royal families sponsored explorers and naval crews who sailed around the world to claim new lands for their growing family empires. Eventually, the two factions, European and American, controlled all the empires. This is part of their worship of what they believe to be the source of all dark power. Since immemorial time, countless generations of believers throughout the universe have infiltrated civilizations and used oppressed people as living sacrifices in sinister rituals. When this epitome of darkness entered Gaia's population, it pulled her planetary body out of fifth density, plunged it into deep third density, and kept it trapped there for eons. Finally, so that her body could survive, Gaia called for help, and the battle between the forces of light and the forces of darkness began. The Earth and all its inhabitants are being freed so that they can ascend to fifth density and manifest the Golden Age. Government. We do not know what type of government the people will ultimately choose, but discussions on this topic include the suggestion of dividing the world into 6 or 7 geographic regions. The residents of each region would elect a primary leader and advisors who would govern a world republic. When the population reaches fifth density, they will have the consciousness of unity that will ensure their government is of the people and for the people really. Other options are also being considered, but the original idea is favored as the cornerstone of a peaceful and progressive world of advanced souls, whose goals include shared natural resources and prosperity for all, intra- and interregional cooperation to maintain balance in all aspects of life, educational opportunities aligned with interests and aptitudes, a renewed appreciation for the arts, judicious use of artificial intelligence, environmental restoration and conservation, protection of all animal species, and active participation in interplanetary and intergalactic projects. What we know for sure is that any form of government established will be balanced and in tune with universal rhythms. As a microcosm of the universe, you and all other souls on your world have always been aware of the rhythms, but your consciousness has been submerged within the density of your body. Soon you will feel yourself vibrating in tune with the rhythms. Joy is only a breath beyond the current turbulence, but it is very close. Confusion. You are dealing with the energetic fallout of all this, and you see the consent and confusion of family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors. But do you ever consider how this may be affecting Gaia, the soul who incarnated as planet Earth, a highly evolved volunteer, beloved and respected by all beings of light for her healing energy of the earth and her guidance for others, has authorized us to share the message she recently received from Gaia. According to Matthew, Gaia feels everything that each of the residents feels, and God feels everything that Gaia and every soul in this universe feels. On Earth alone, there is a widespread worry and confusion, along with pockets of emotion, pain, fear, joy, kindness, belligerence, compassion, anger, hope, hopelessness, stubbornness, sadness, trust, disappointment, arrogance, timidity, shock, awe, satiety, doubt, humility, curiosity, exuberance, pride, impatience, anger, restlessness, revenge, forgiveness, apprehension, and the widespread fury and frenzy of the dark ones who know their time is up. Our dense body is not immune to the resulting vibrational shock, but reducing our activity will help us flow through this temporary period of weatherly upheaval and stress. Rest as much as you can, because the mind, body, and spirit need it. Be in touch with nature, and drink plenty of pure water, and breathe deeply. When you live from the heart, are brave, kind, and loving, you emit light with such abundance that it is like the midway sun shining at midnight to encourage and comfort you and your world. Message from Gaia. According to Gaia, through Marianne Bau, these times are difficult, but also wonderful. You often compare this time to the transition of childbirth. It is complicated and painful, but the gift is yet to come. It was much worse when so few on the planet cared. They lacked the awareness to know that Gaia was a living being like them. That was when they ruthlessly hunted the whales, when the horrific bomb was dropped. That is the dark history of the past. It has been a history of cruel acts without any conscious reflection on what they did. These times are different. Many hearts know now that I am alive. Many hearts care. Not all, of course. Many are wounded and trapped in that wound. But there is love here and now. The first hints of the age of Aquarius. And it is my own loved ones, like the Tepic Kingdom, who have been called to serve to help cleanse my body. This continues to cause tremendous pain to the flora and fauna. It is very, very difficult, and I need it deeply so I can carry my light and ascend. But even so, it is painful. That is why your love and light, and the codes that you and many others carry, who care for me and are doing what helps me heal, are so needed and appreciated. We are all concerned about the abuse of the broken masculine system, which is now evident but has been operating for millennia. It is a mindset that has no concept for my well-being at all. It is no longer hidden, and you all observe it as I am balanced by the force of feminine energy. Yes, the confusion affects me greatly, but it is part of the painful transition of labor that will bring about the birth of something new and glorious. In the meantime, anything you ask to help will be greatly appreciated, whether it's doing energy work, signing petitions, or protecting my body. It's all necessary, and I feel it. Love will triumph in the end. That's guaranteed, and I know it. I enjoy the light pouring my way. It'll just be a little turbulent for a while longer, but we'll get through it. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.